When we see ruins, sirens, and crowing crowds, these images have become the standard symbols of modern disaster reporting. Fast cuts and close-ups quickly trigger viewers' emotions, making suffering something consumable and shareable. Susan Sontag, in Regarding the Pain of Others, warns us that the shock of images does not automatically lead to understanding. To see suffering is not the same as to comprehend it. Repeated dramatically imagery can even lead to sensory fatigue and moral indifference. The real question is, are we bearing witness to others' pain or exploiting it to capture attention? Fatih Tabat, a photographer for the genre, is not merely capturing anguished cries amid the ruins of Gaza.
أصعب المواقف اللي وثقتها بكاميرتي إحنا الأطفال اللي كانوا جائعين، أطفال محرومين. شو ذنب الأطفال هدول كلهم اللي 5 سنوات 3 سنوات 4 سنوات ومواليد في الحرب؟ إيش ذنبهم إنهم يجوعوا؟
In Susan's interview, the importance of this kind of empathy is unmistakable.
Still, what might you feel? I don't think most people, it's hard to make that effort to think how the other person feels, but that's really what a moral life is, an ethical life is trying to take in some of the reality of what other people feel or how they see things from their point of view.
True empathy is not a fleeting shock or superficial sympathy, but an ethic stance grounded in deep understanding.
بالفعل إحنا شفنا الجوع، شفنا التعب، شفنا القهر، شفنا العذاب. ولكن سنبقى نوصل الرسالة الإنسانية للعالم.
Similarly, the director of documentary Owning the Dead mentioned in an interview,
we think we've made something that when you're in the cinema, you don't just watch a war. With our film, you're going to experience it and you're going to feel it.
Human existence is inherently bound up with responsibility. As Heidegger emphasizes with his concept of missing, in being and time, human beings are never isolated, entitled, but always share the world with others. Empathy is about feeling. Being with is about responsibility. In the realm of journalism, the power of empathy is especially evident. As highlighted in the UK trade publication Prize Gazetteer, interview-based research reveals that many families of victims actually want to be interviewed and documented. They say this is a way to ensure their loved ones are not forgotten. Media organizations in turn strive to invoke empathy from audience worldwide. We see this clearly in coverage of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, where videos shared on platforms like TikTok and YouTube have drawn significant attention, generating widespread concern and mobilizing humanitarian aid. The Disaster and Crisis Reporting Handbook published by the International Center for Journalists outline 4 core social functions of journalism in such contexts. Martin Buber's concept of the author relationship offers a profound ethical reminder for journalism. Reporters must see interviewees as complete subjects with dignity. Adam Smith likewise argued that empathy is not automatically pity, but a rational process that requires imagining others' situation, feeling our own response, recognizing differences, and making moral judgments. In 2014, when video of American aid worker Peter Kosker's beheading spread widely before verification, it caused deep secondary trauma to his family and sparked public outrage over ethic failures in reporting. It's not about approaching victims and demanding they break down on camera. Instead, it starts with transparency about the journalist's role, seeking informed consent and letting people share their stories at their own pace. And crucially, if someone refused to speak, the choices must be respected, and the journalist should step away without pressure. The value of disaster reporting lies not in showcasing ruins and cries, but in sustaining a responsible gaze toward suffering. True empathy is not cheap sentiment. It is recognizing the dignity of others as full subjects, refusing to reduce their pain to something consumable. Journalism is not about amplifying emotion alone, but about fostering understanding, preserving complexity, and resist the impulse to commodify the tragedy. Because ultimately, the purpose of reporting is not to shock us, but to remind us that this is a world we share, and the responsibility we must carry together.